Hello and welcome to a very special edition of Right from the Kickoff. I'm your host, William Billis, and join me as always is Joseph Wright. How are you doing, Joe?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Excited to talk about some FA Cup football. Of course, we did an episode yesterday, but this is all about the magic of the FA Cup, isn't it? So, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, of course, and we have some very interesting and juicy FA Cup quarterfinal ties coming up. But before we do that, we've already known some of our giant killings in the past. There's some magic of the FA Cup. And the perfect example is Marine. They got to the third round of the FA Cup this season and they played Tottenham in the third round and they lost 5-0. But it just shows the magic of the cup, doesn't it? Like, who would have thought
Yeah,
someone looked outside the bedroom window and they saw Gareth Bale playing in the field next to it? It would blow your mind, wouldn't it, Joe?
yeah, it would. And I think what was quite interesting about this particular game as well, because obviously Marine's ground is very kind of compact, and like you say, it's basically in the middle of a housing complex, isn't it? So it was very interesting to see kind of fans on the rooftops watching watching the games and stuff, and especially in these times of kind of COVID and stuff. It was very interesting to see fans watching the games from the bedroom windows, as you were saying. So, no, the magic was there, and yes, they lost 5-0, but actually, I think in that particular game they did put a good account of themselves, and actually they were the first team to have a chance. I remember one of their, I think, winger cut inside and hit the bar, if you remember.
Yeah.
Uh, so I mean, they lost 5-0, and they were obviously complete underdogs, but they made a good account of themselves. And like I say, for them, it was a massive kind of haul for them in the FA Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah, really, really impressive. Now, we all have our own memories and things going on in the FA Cup. We all have a personal favourite moment. So, what are some of your favourite moments, Joe? As a Leicester fan, do you have any particular
I
favourite
think I
moments?
think one particular memory for me was back when we were down in the Championship, and this is kind of going back years now. I think a season or two before we even got relegated to League One. So we're probably talking 2005, 2006, maybe 2006, 2007 season, when we beat Spurs at the time, who were a Premier League team, at what was then White Hart Lane. Elvis, we went 1-0 down. I think Aaron Leonard scored the goal. He was a youngster back then, of course. And then Elvis Hammond didn't really get many league games for us, but got a bit of a knockdown and a shuffle in. And then, of course, Mark de Vries, who we got from the Scottish League, scored quite a contentious, maybe offside goal, but as a Leicester fan, I didn't care, and it was a great one, a bit of a giant killing for us back then, because of course we were the lower league team, so for us it was fantastic. Um, and I just wanted, speaking of Tottenham, I just want to talk about. I think it was a game sort of 2003, 2004 season. May have been a year above that. It's very difficult to tell with these kind of FA Cup games, but one particular FA Cup game I'll always remember watching with my dad. Not a Leicester game, but Tottenham were, I think, 3-0 up at half time. Man City had a man sent off, and then came back and won 4-3. I think old John Macken, who was a veteran striker for them at the time, and this is before Man City's money, of course. So they were very much kind of a mid-table team at this point, probably lower table actually. But John Macken, it was when Kevin Keegan was managing them. Do you remember that?
Oh, wow, that must have been some time
It,
ago
it
then.
was it was a terrific game to watch. I always remember watching that game, and it's actually gone down as one of the FA Cup greats because, of course, coming back from 3-0 down with 10 men as well. You know, it's unheard of, really. So, no, really, really good game, and those are kind of the two games really that stick out for me in the memory. What about you, Will, from a Forest fan's perspective?
Well, two of these games, ironically, I couldn't attend. So the first one was when Forest beat Man City 3-0 in the 07-08 season, I believe. And my brother went to it. It was at the Etihad. I think it's just when they got bought out as well, and they won 3-0. I remember watching it on TV, Nathan Tyson scoring a terrific goal. Joe Garner pounced on a mistake from the Man City throw-in. And yeah, the rest is history. My brother went to the game and he said it was unbelievable. And it's one of those games I really wish I had have gone, like 3-0 against Man City. Oh, no one beats Man City 3-0 anymore, do they, Joe?
No, they don't. And I think, like you say, I think what we're kind of talking about, obviously, with the 2-1 against Tottenham that we had, the 3-0 that you had against Man City, it really does show the magic of the FA Cup. The whole point is, as a lower league side, you do feel like you can go and turn these big boys over, you know, and that's the magic of it. You know, anybody can beat anyone on the day. And we see it quite often, especially with Championship sides going and upsetting the Premier League teams. So, you know, it's very interesting for sure.
It's not unheard of at all. But yeah, before we get on to the fixtures and our predictions, let's get our juices flowing, and let's. You don't know we're going to start this yet, but we're going to do a quiz first, just to get it out of the way, and just so we get into the mood of the FA Cup. All right, Joe, are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready
so
for
we're
this,
each
mate.
going to have 5 questions, and we're going to compare our scores at the end. So it should be good.
I'll let you go first this time, mate, so you can ask me the questions.
Okay, 5 questions for Joe. And if you want to play at home, let us know how you get on during the quiz. Okay, so the first question is for Joe is, who has made the most FA Cup final appearances? So in the whole competition, who has made the most appearances in the final?
Well, I know this answer because it's one of your questions, same sort of issue. So that'll be Chelsea with 9 times.
You're going for Chelsea. Very specific answer, actually.
Yeah.
And you're actually wrong. It's actually Arsenal.
Oh, of course it is.
Who've made the most FA. They've also won the FA Cup the most times as well. So you were very confident in that answer, weren't you, Joe?
I was. I don't think that's the actual question I've got for you, to be honest. I think it's who's made that? Yeah, I don't think it is the question I've got for you. I was very confident in the answer, wasn't I?
You can't fall back, can you, Joe?
I've gone for okay. I've got egg on my face now, Will.
Let's see how we get on. Okay. So question 2 is, who has made the most final appearances without actually winning the FA Cup? So who has
again,
made...
this is one of my questions for you. So this is interesting. That'll be Leicester City.
Leicester City.
And
that is correct.
Yeah, that's 3. Correct. That's 3 times. If I didn't know that, that'd be embarrassing.
So question 3 is, leading on from that, how many times?
That's 3. 3 times.
You going for 3?
Yeah, it's 3 times. I know it's 3.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Well, you're very confident again, but you're actually wrong, Joe. It's actually 4 times.
It's not wrong. It's not wrong. It's 3. It's definitely 3. I think you might have got your stats wrong there. Well, I can guarantee you it's 3.
Okay, well, we have to go to adjudicator afterwards. I'll have a look during it, and I'll come back to you on that one. But question 4 then.
We're getting very contentious here, aren't we? I might be wrong, though, you know.
Yeah, you were so confident with that, Joe.
I might be wrong. I think it might be 3. I was going to say, I thought it was 3. I don't know where I'm getting my information from, but go on.
Oh, Joe. Actually, is 4. If you look on the Wikipedia website, it's 1949.
It's 4.
1961.
To be honest, I kind of knew that as I was digging myself an even bigger hole.
Well, you're very confident, Jem.
I am very confident in these answers, but I've obviously not done my FA Cup brush up before today's episode. Carry on.
Okay, so you're currently 1 for 3 at the moment. So question 4, can you scrape it back?
I need to scrape it back here.
Yeah. What was the score when Preston played Hyde in 1887? Now, this was also the biggest win in FA Cup history. Just a little thing. So we'll have 4 answers and you need to get the right one, okay, Joe?
Okay, go on.
A, 14-0. B, 20-0. C, 24-0. Or D, 26-0. Can you imagine?
Yeah, it's
What are you
difficult. It's difficult on that. I'm gonna go for B. I'm gonna go for B 20-0.
20-0. You don't sound
Again,
confident in this one.
I will confess, I don't know this one. This is just a complete yes.
This was a tough one, but I'm afraid you're wrong again, Joe. It's
Oh,
actually 26-0. 26-0. That's basically a goal every 3 minutes. How
yeah.
crazy is that?
I mean, that's ridiculous. But I knew it wasn't going to be 14 because, of course, FA Cup. You'd imagine with lower league sides playing, you'd imagine it'd be a bit higher. But 26-0, that is crazy.
That's crazy, isn't it? Okay, so, and the final question is, how many times have Chelsea won the FA Cup? Is it A, 5 times? Is it B, 6 times? Is it C, 8 times? Or is it D, 9 times?
Right. So I'm going to go for A. I think it's 5 times. I'm not going to go in too confident on this one because I've been very confident with these questions and got them wrong. So I'm going to go for A 5 times.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, that is my final answer. I need to get this one right just to save a bit of face here, I think.
You've gone for A. Oh, Joe, you've had a nightmare here. It's actually C. They've won it 8 times. Isn't that a surprising amount, isn't it, though, Joe?
It is very surprising. I've done horrifically badly on this quiz, especially with
the first time they won the FA Cup was in 1970, so not that old actually. So
no, I know
8 times in that span isn't bad.
I know them and Arsenal. I think you're going to do all right on these questions that I've got for you, Will, because a lot of them are revolving around the similar sort of. So I got 1 out of 5 now. That's embarrassing.
1 out of 5. So I'm feeling pretty confident now. So
yeah, I think
Joe,
you should.
if you're ready for my questions,
I think you should do, mate. I think you should do. Right. Let me just get them up. I'm really not feeling good after that quiz there, Will. Really not feeling good. I should have got some of those, shouldn't I, really? Let's be honest.
Yeah, but you won the quiz yesterday, so we should keep a massive tally
I did,
up.
but it was closer. Right, okay. So, who's...
I'm ready.
Okay, so the first one's easy. This one's a gimme because you've already answered it yourself. So it's who's won the most FA Cups?
The most FA Cups. I'm going to go for Arsenal.
Yeah, and not for a bonus point, but just for how many times?
Is it 14 times?
14 times, yeah. That's you've got 1 out of 1 so far. Next question again. No, you know this one because we answered this one before. Who has made the most FA Cup final appearances without winning the FA Cup?
Would that be Leicester City, is it?
Yeah, Leicester City, and apparently they've made 4 FA Cup final appearances, which I was so adamant it was 3. It was embarrassing. But yeah, so that's correct. So that's 2 out of 2. This one's going to be a hard one because I'm not going to give you any options because you've already won the quiz. I'm not going to give you any options.
That's fair. That's fair.
Who won the first FA Cup of the 20th century? So that'd be 1900.
I'm going to go for Notts County.
Notts County. He's gone for Notts County. No, it's Bury FC.
Oh.
Bury FC. Is it?
That's a tough one. To be fair. That's a tough one.
Okay. Who has made the most Premier League final appearances as a player? Who has made the most Premier League final appearances? FA Cup final appearances. Sorry, I've got my Premier League brain switched on. FA Cup final appearances.
And I'm not going to get any options at all.
No, you're not. Just because you've already won. You've won the quiz. If it was close, I'd give you options. I genuinely would. If I'd have scored, if I was winning at this point, I'd have given you options.
So let's think of this logically. Arsenal and Manchester United are the two top teams with the most wins, so it might be one of their players. I'm gonna go Schmeichel.
You go for Schmeichel. It's actually wrong. It's Didier Drogba.
Oh, of course, iconic.
Didier Drogba. So he's made the most FA Cup final appearances as a player. So yeah, and this is where the confusion of 9 times came in, and it makes more sense to me now, which is why I said 9 previously, which I can't believe. How many times? Which I've given you the answer. Sorry. How many times?
You don't need to apologise for that.
How many times have Tottenham Hotspur appeared in the FA Cup final?
Hotspur. The answer's 9.
Yeah, the answer's 9. So that's 3 out of 5. How do you feel about that one, Will?
I'll take that. You made it harder for me towards the end, but I'll take 3 out of 5. You know, a win's a win.
Yeah, a win's a win.
So,
and to be honest, you did far better than I did.
I gave you some tough questions, to be fair, Jay.
Yeah, no, you did, but I think the one, to be honest, I'd have taken 2 out of 5 if I'd have just answered both the Leicester ones right. The Leicester ones are what I'm kicking myself for. I'm not particularly worried that I lost it. It's just the fact that it's not the fact that I got it wrong. It was the fact I was so adamant as well.
Yeah.
Which but it is what it is. You know, sometimes you get it wrong. I can't believe I got it wrong. Anyway,
So if you enjoyed that quiz and you think you could do better, comment down below. And remember to like and subscribe and give us a follow on all our social medias as well. So guys, you probably will do better than us.
Yeah, if you can't do better than me at least, then there's something wrong with you, because that was an atrocious performance.
Yeah. So we've had our fun, so let's move on to our fixtures for the quarterfinal. So our first games, Bournemouth and Southampton. Now, Bournemouth are a championship team. They're currently 7th. They've had a bit of a topsy-turvy season, sacking their manager. But they've just beat Swansea 3-0 in the league. So you think they've got a bit of confidence going into us. On the other hand, Southampton have been arguably playing some really tough games in the FA Cup, beating Arsenal and Wolves, which we both know are not easy places to win against, are they, Jay?
No, so, they're not. They're not, and I think obviously they've done well to get to this point. Although I will say this, that obviously the form in the FA Cup, you know, the form in the league is more important coming to this game, because it's kind of the current form they're on. So I'd actually fancy Bournemouth to feel that they can maybe get a result here and maybe see themselves into the semi-final.
Yeah, of course, and obviously it is a bit of a seaside derby, and you know what we always say, Joe? Anything can happen in a derby, and anything can happen in the FA Cup.
Yeah, it can, and I think obviously with Southampton, like I say, lacking in confidence a little bit in the league with kind of the run they're going on. Obviously, Bournemouth are a different proposition, being a championship side, but you know, anything, like you say, anything can happen.
Yeah, and let's not forget that Bournemouth already has their own mini giant killing, beating Burnley. As we both know, Burnley are a tough nut to crack, aren't they?
So, yeah, it's surprising, and I think actually if you look back at the team that Burnley put out as well, you know, it definitely wasn't a second team. It was kind of in the middle between the first and second, but they definitely didn't put a team out to lose for sure.
Yeah, 100%. So, Joe, what score do you think it was going to be then? What do you fancy?
As much as I've just said, I fancy, you know, maybe Bournemouth to do something. I think it'll be close. I don't think it's going to be a rollover for anything, but I can't say anything but Southampton wins. So I'm going to go for 1-0 Southampton.
1-0 Southampton. I'm going to go 1-0 Bournemouth. I think it's going to be at least one bit of underdog winning. So I'm going to go 1-0 Bournemouth for this one. So we'll wait and see what happens. Okay, so moving on to the next game, which is a big game in itself as well. Everton versus Man City. Now, Man City, obviously we know how good they are, but they've actually had one of the easiest runs in the FA Cup, beating...
They always do. They get very lucky with the runs, and we're not even talking about just the FA Cup. You look at the League Cup as well. They tend to get sort of not nobodies, but teams they should be kind of rolling over every week. So, as a neutral fan, it is slightly annoying to see that, to be honest. Especially with a team that could put out their third squad and beat anybody in the country.
Yeah.
So for me, it is slightly annoying, but all power to them, they're still there. But I can't see anything but a Man City win here, to be honest.
I know it's tough, and we've already Everton just beat Tottenham in one of the games of the rounds with Everton winning 5-4. Now, what a game that match was! Do you remember watching it, Joe?
I mean, yeah, I remember watching it, and I couldn't really believe what I was seeing. Goals flying in everywhere, especially with a team managed by Jose Mourinho, who's notorious for parking the bus. It was a great game, and actually, it was probably the game of the competition so far.
Yeah, I couldn't disagree with that.
Yeah, so I think Everton will be coming off the high from that, but I just can't see anybody kind of steamrolling. This is Man City's hardest game for sure, but I can't see anybody beating Man City. I think it's Man City's to lose at this point. I mean, they're going for the quadruple, aren't they, in other competitions?
Yeah,
as well. So, if Man City is still in the competition, it's hard to not put them as favourites. So I'm going to go for a simple 2-0 to Man City, I think, here.
2-0 Man City. Do you think a quadruple's on? Do you think they can do it, Man City?
Yeah, I think they can. I mean, difference. I mean, it doesn't. Not saying they will. I think they can with the squad they've got. I mean, they've got unbelievable depth, as we know. But for a team who's got 350 million sitting on the bench for players, you'd expect them to be where they are. So I think obviously they are favourites. I think the major one we've already talked about it on this show, haven't we? Of the major one for them is the Champions League. But obviously if they can get the Carabao and the FA Cup, I think they'll be more than happy with that as well. So
yeah,
if they can add the FA Cup to the trophy case, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I think it's just like another trophy for them, really, which is crazy to say. But I think the Champions League's the one they really care about. That's the one they haven't won yet. So
yeah, of course. I think they trade all three other trophies for the Champions League. To be honest, I genuinely think they would.
No, I agree with that. They definitely would. Okay, so moving on to the penultimate game, Chelsea versus Sheffield United. Now, Chelsea again have had quite an easy run. They've played Luton and Barnsley so far, and Sheffield United played Plymouth and Bristol City. So they've both had pretty easy runs, but I think Sheffield United, this is really the only competition they're really in still this season. So I think they're going to go all out. I think it's the one they want to salvage some pride again. So what do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I actually agree with that. I think especially now they've had a week with their new caretaker manager, I think that they've had some effect. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I think obviously Chelsea go in as overwhelming favourites, but I think this game could be closer than the neutral fan expects, because I think, like you say, for a Sheffield United point of view, like we've talked about, I think they need to salvage something. And actually for them, I think having a break from the league and away from it for a week is actually going to do them some good. And if they can get a result, hopefully that can carry over into the league. Because yes, they're going down, but I think they need to try and salvage some pride now. And if they need to try and get some form going into next season and obviously into the Championship. So hopefully they can get something out of this game. I can't see anything else but a Chelsea win. I think it will be a win by 2-goal margin. I'm probably only go for a 3-1 to 3-1. Chelsea.
I actually agree with every word you say, but I can't see Chelsea losing this game. I'm going to go 2-0 Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to go for 2-0, but I can see maybe Sheffield United scoring potentially, even though they've got an absolute awful record scoring in the league. But FA Cup's different, it gives Sheffield United a break. So we'll see what happens. But I can't see anything else but a Chelsea win, really.
Particularly without Chris Wilder for Sheffield United as well. They just look so different, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, and it's just going to be interesting to see how they react to obviously that Leicester defeat, and then how that transpires into the cup. But I think for the reason it's a bit of a break for Sheffield United is they're not going to lose another league game at least. I think that's kind of a positive to take out of this weekend. The fact they're in the FA Cup still.
Yeah, 100%.
They've actually had quite an easy run themselves. I mean, all the teams really up until this point have had quite an easy run, with probably the exception of United. They've had a couple of teams that, obviously with Liverpool and West Ham.
I'd argue that Southampton have also had quite a tough run as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, no, I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that. So there's a few teams that have had a lot easier runs. But yeah, I think Chelsea. I can't say anything else but a Chelsea win.
Yeah, Chelsea win. We're agreed on that one as well. Okay, to the final game. Now, ugly is one of the biggest games in terms of league position. It's second versus third in the Premier League. Obviously, Manchester United are second and Leicester City are third. So, how do you think this is going to go then, Joe? Obviously, Manchester United have beaten Liverpool and West Ham going into it. So,
look, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna talk about it from a Leicester fan's point of view and kind of sitting there. FA Cup's magic, we all know that, and I think, to be honest with you, we've had this question tossed around between kind of fans and stuff. Would you rather take an FA Cup victory, an FA Cup win, winning a trophy, or would you take top four? And a lot of fans have said, they take top four every day of the week because obviously more money and stuff. I kind of sit on the fence because the older fans in our fan base kind of go, we want to win the FA Cup, especially the ones that were around in the 60s that saw us get to all these FA Cup finals and never actually win it. I remember my granddad telling me about one of the FA Cup finals that we were playing against him. We lost against Tottenham. I think we lost 2-1, and that particular lead up to that final, we suffered a lot of injuries. So we were actually favourites going into that final until we got a lot of injuries. And that, I'm not saying that's what caused us to lose. So from an older fan's perspective, I think they want us to win the FA Cup more. Just to obviously have a trophy and the magic of the FA Cup as we keep talking about. So, it'd be a nice game to win, and I think, to be honest, it will boost the confidence of the lads for the league if we manage to beat United, especially with us being so close in respective league positions. So if I'm going to go with it from a kind of a neutral point of view, though, I do think that United go in as slight favourites. So, but I mean, Leicester can turn it over anyone on the day. We've seen, the teams that beat this season. So it'll be interesting to know. It's a difficult one to call, to be honest, Will. I've got to be honest, because I don't think it's gonna be a walkover for either team, to be honest with you.
I don't either. I think it's going to be quite a high-scoring game, actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's your score prediction before I give mine?
I think it's going to be 3-2 Leicester, and I think it's going to be like one of those last-minute winners. I think it's going to be one of the classic games in the FA Cup. I'm calling it now. And I think both teams really have nothing to lose in the competition, really.
No, they don't. I think to be honest with you, though, I think it's quite a nice game for both teams to play because it's obviously, like I say, pressure away from the league, and realistically, there's no pressure on Leicester to win the FA Cup, and there's no. I mean, obviously, it's a nice one for United to win, and they'll want to win a trophy, obviously, this season. But there's no real pressure for them to kind of win it. There always is pressure when you're United, obviously, but you know what I mean. It's not. If you lose this game, it's not the end of the world. But if you win this game, it's a really nice one to win. I think that what's going in the back of my mind, though, as a Leicester fan, is Man City is still in the cup. So whoever wins this one will probably have to go on to play Man City at some point in the competition. If you're going to win it, you're going to have to beat Man City, which is proving nigh on impossible at the moment. So I think I'm going to go for a Leicester 1-0 win. I don't think it's going to be as high scoring as you think it's going to be.
Leicester 1-0.
Just because I'm a Leicester fan, I've got to go for. If I'm going from a neutral point of view, I might be persuaded to go for a different way, but I've got to go for 1-0 to back my team. I will always back my team. So
Always back your team. You have to, don't you? So
you know.
those are just our score predictions and what we think. But let us know what you think the scores are going to be. Is it going to be any giant killings? Will Man City actually win the competition? What do you think, Joe?
I can't. They're astronomically favourite. You know, they're favourites by a mile. But I think the fact that Man United are still in the cup, I think if it turns out to be a Manchester derby final, I think that could be very interesting because, as we know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows how to set up his team against Pep with the counter-attacking football they display. So it's not a definite for Man City, but I think they go in as favourites, don't they, for sure, from this point
100%.
onwards.
Yeah, and there's already been talks of potentially being the final being played in front of 20,000 fans. Now that'd be a nice game to get back into for the fans, won't it? The Manchester derby, that'd be a great final, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, it would be. It would be. Obviously, I'm hoping that's not the case with us playing Man United this weekend.
Yeah.
But I think that'd be a kind of a nice way to cap off the competition, wouldn't it, as a whole, from a neutral point of view. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it's all to play for, though. You never know what's going to happen in the FA Cup. So you don't. It's hard to guess. You know, we could be coming in next week and talking about the FA Cup and stuff. And I know that Sheffield United have beaten Chelsea. You know, Bournemouth have beaten Southampton. So you don't really know, do you? That's what the magic. And I think there's slight pride with Bournemouth being the only Championship team left. I think they want to prove a few people wrong. So it would be very interesting weekend of football with the FA Cup, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. I'm excited to see what happens. Now then, thank you very much for today, Joe. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I did, mate. It was really good, experience. Sort of really annoyed with my answers on the questions, but you know you can't win them all, can you?
You can't win it. It's currently 1-1 in our quiz, so we'll have to keep a
Yeah,
tally for that, shouldn't we, Joe?
Yeah, we'll have to do that next week. It'll be
The
interesting.
ultimate football fan, eh?
Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. That knows nothing about the FA Cup, apparently.
Well, Leicester City have never won it, have they? So
no, exactly.
But yeah, but once again, thank you very much, Joe. And don't forget to follow us on all our social medias. We have an Instagram account, we have a Facebook account, obviously we have a YouTube account now. So don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and comment your thoughts on what you think.
Just a heads up for next week as well. We'll obviously be talking all things Premier League football, and in a couple of weeks' time, you know, in the near future, we're looking to get a few people on as well. You know, just to get a different perspective as guests. So it'll be interesting, won't it, Will? And hopefully we can talk more football morning, noon, and night because we love it. We love it.
We do, and I'm sure you do too. Anyway, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.
See you next time, guys.